Well, aren't you just lovely? Is this your first time in the monastery? Shall I show you around? Oh, my name is Dorothea. Before I joined the academy, I was a member of an opera company in the Empire. You should hear me sing sometime. Petra, I believe you mean to say that our professor has guts. That's a bit different from having a gut. You can't go around saying someone so slim and attractive has a gut. Hi, Professor. How are you doing? If you're not busy, would you like to join me on a little trip into town? If I'm cooped up in this dusty old monastery for too long, it drives me absolutely crazy. Oh, Professor. Hello. I was just looking for my... Well, it's like a pale blue cloth. Have you seen it? Okay. Professor, about this month's assignment, raising an army against the church? Really? Though it looks like we won't be fighting, it's still quite unsettling. My understanding is that it will all be subdued rather quickly. Well, I had fun today. Of course. You want to see me again, yes?
Of course. I'd love to, Dorothea.
Well, until we meet again. Oh, hello, Professor. Were you watching that? Yes. Is there a problem with that? Look, I know what I'm doing. My claim as a diva won't last forever, after all. I must look to the future. As a man, you may not feel so rushed about these things, but I know my beauty will eventually fade. You? Really? I never would have guessed. Anyway, I'm not just playing games with these boys. This is for my future. You have no right to object. I very much want to find a good partner here at the Academy. Someone who will take care of me for the rest of my life. Finding someone to take care of me? Of course it is. Who could ask for anything more? Anyway, I value your opinion, Professor, but I won't have you interfering with my life plans. Unless you'd like to take care of me into my old age. That'd be something, eh? How about it, Professor? I wasn't... You aren't being serious, are you? I was just teasing. Or did you really just consider spending your whole life with me? If you did, that actually makes me... It makes me happy. I had no idea you might look at me that way. You've gotten awfully quiet. You might even be blushing a bit. Have I embarrassed you? If so, I'm very, very sorry. I should be going anyway. I'll see you later, Professor. So, you have a crest too, eh, Professor? Does that mean you're descended from nobility? You've certainly got the look for it. I sure do wish there were more nobles like you, Professor. A teacher, a mercenary, and so very mysterious. How could a girl ever get enough? Hey, Professor, have you seen Manuela? I saw her running off somewhere in a terrible hurry. I wonder if it has anything to do with Flane's disappearance. Do you know, Professor? Oh, yes. Didn't you know? She was the senior diva in our opera company. Ching? No thanks. I tried it once and... ugh, gross. I don't even really like to eat fish, let alone catch and gut them. Besides, who can think about fishing right now? The Battle of the Eagle and Lion is coming up soon. Feeling confident? That's the spirit. Congratulations on winning the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. Did you get a special reward? I certainly feel like I earned a special reward. Don't you, Professor? Oh, disappointing. I wonder if Remire Village will ever be the same again. How do you recover from such a terrible event? So many dead, so much destroyed. I can't see how the whole village doesn't just end up abandoned.
It is almost... Yeah.
Well...
Indeed.
It's a once in a... I'm not...
Hey, you!
Nah, there's... but... I don't...
Really? Really? Hello. Ugh. Ugh. Professor, oh, don't worry. It's nothing. Actually, could we talk for a bit? Somewhere a little more private? I'm just gonna come right out and say it. I find you a little difficult to be around. I know. I'm your student and you're just trying to watch out for me. But the way you look at me sometimes, it's like you're seeing right through me. Don't worry. I know you don't mean anything bad by it. I'm just too self-conscious, I guess. The thing is, I don't have anything to call my own. No land, no birthright, no fortune. Little knowledge or battle skill. I think that's why I always clung to my popularity as a diva. Even after leaving the stage behind, I sort of kept up the act. When I look at you, it's like your eyes are accusing me. Telling me that you see right through it. That's what I mean when I say it's difficult being around you. Hey, this might be nuts, but maybe you could show me some kind of weakness of yours? You know my biggest fear. If I know one of yours, maybe I'll feel less, I don't know, vulnerable. Excellent. Well then, don't mind me. You know, Professor, I never hear any gossip about you. Of a romantic nature, I mean. Would I be right in assuming you're not very experienced with romance? Maybe we should find out somehow. Professor? What's with you? Why aren't you reacting to anything I'm doing? Oh, come on. Is your heart even beating? You're making me lose my confidence. That's all right. I didn't really think a little tease like that would be enough to get to you anyway. Though it does still make me lose just a little confidence in my own charms. Ah, Professor! You showed up. Well, because you're here, of course. You came here because you read the letter I sent you, right? Are you saying this is a coincidence? How disappointing to think you didn't come here specifically to see me. Still, if we're meeting by complete chance, that has a certain appeal too. It's as if destiny brought us together. And tonight is the night of the ball. Lucky me. Oh, that's just when you're looking through me in front of others. When it's just us, I kinda like it. Originally, I wanted to see what you'd do when you read my letter. I just wanted to see if you'd come here like I asked. I had a feeling that you would. Though, I suppose you didn't even read the letter to begin with. I should just be thankful I wasn't left here waiting, all alone, forever. Do you know it's been almost 9 whole moons since you arrived at Garreg Mach? You must have found a special someone by now, haven't you, Professor? Are you changing the subject? Don't do that. Oh, I bet that means you do have someone, don't you? Don't you worry. I won't pry if you don't want to share. These things are private, after all. Well, I ought to get going. I wouldn't want to be in the way if your special someone shows up. Either way, I do hope you'll share a dance with me later. I've sung lyrics lamenting death many times on stage. But when something like this happens in real life, I'm lost. I don't know what to say, but I do know this much. Sir Gerald must have been very proud to have you as his child. Recently, Professor, I feel as though you've been a bit distant. It's like you're sort of floating above the clouds, separate from other people. And like you've got no interest at all in ever coming back down. How can I help? Hey, don't worry. I thought maybe I'd ask and see what you'd say. Edelgard became emperor and raised an army, huh? Who knew the kid had it in her? I mean, yeah, of course, I knew she'd be emperor eventually, but the more I think about it, the more surprised I am. I wonder who's gonna win. Thinking about it makes me scared. We're fighting the Knights of Saros. Still, I know you'll figure something out. This may seem a bit sudden, but I want to thank you, Professor. That is, for letting me live my life the way I want. I've noticed you've been giving me fewer of those soul-revealing gazes lately. I appreciate you making an effort to not trouble yourself over who I spend my time with. Well, of course. Did you think I wouldn't notice? It's kind of sweet in its own way. Professor, may I tell you a story about when I was younger? I was an orphan, living in the back alleys of Enbar, until one day I was overheard singing. That was when my new life began. I was suddenly a songstress in the Mittelfrank Opera Company. Performers, nobility. I met so many people. But none of them ever really knew me. I was just some young, pretty girl who could sing. A spectacle to be admired. Even though everyone praised my looks and my voice, and they showered me with gifts, I knew one day I'd be old. My looks would fade, my voice would change. I wouldn't sound the same. And I started to wonder, when I did get old, what would I have left? I'd be old, alone, and back on the streets of the capital, right where I'd started. That's sweet of you, even if you are just flirting. I never had much to begin with in life, and I worry that one day I'll be that way again. That's why I keep searching for someone who will love me. Someone unaware of the songstress, who can love a girl that used to be scared and alone on the streets of the capital. I wonder if such a strange person can even exist. Professor! Oh my, it's so good to see you. These days, so many old friends seem to be disappearing. But you're here. It's incredible to see you again after 5 years. I have a feeling your name will go down in history. Professor? I'm happy when we win battles, and I'm always relieved when our friends make it back safe. On the other hand, it's hard to watch the enemy die. Even worse when it's someone you know. Perhaps it would have been better if I'd just stayed with the opera. You're right, Professor. I'll never regret the choices I've made. Now you just have to lead us to victory, so everyone else can let go of their regrets too. The Leicester Alliance is no more. 300 years of history, gone and done. They write operas about events like this, you know? I'm sure you'll be played by the most handsome actor of the time. Hearts will pound as he takes the stage. A diva will play 80. You'll fall madly in love, even if it isn't historically accurate. I heard that Randolph died in battle guarding Garreg Mach. We knew each other for, wow, more than 5 years. My chest feels tight. Think about it. There's no end in sight to the fighting. I might be next. Any of us could be. Together, eh? That sounds like one of Sylvain's old pickup lines. But, yes. Let's get through this war, together. Professor! What? We're almost to the kingdom capital of Ferdiad. Just imagine, the war might almost be over. But is it true that Aryan Road was annihilated? What in the world happened? What is the Saros Church, really? I always have, and I always will.
Sorry. It looks like I'm going to have to leave you now. One day, I hope you'll give this ring to someone you love, as well as I love her.
Oh, is this where you've been? Everyone's looking for you. With the war over, I'd like to think they'd at least give you a few days' rest. Don't worry, I won't tell them you're here. It's a rare occasion for me to have you all to myself. See, there is one person I must confess I'm just a little bit interested in. What? Is that... That's a ring. It would be very embarrassing if I had the wrong idea, so I have to ask. Are you proposing? Here? Now? To me? I don't know what to say. Are you sure? You want to spend your life with me? Even though I'm not a songstress anymore? And I don't come from a noble family or have any wealth or land to my name? You won the war. You could pick anyone in the world. Why would you? Okay. I mean, yes. Yes, I love you madly and I'd be happy to marry you. But if we're going to be married, I had better think up a cute nickname for you. Don't you think? Oh, I wonder what I should call you now. Darling, my beloved. So many options. I starred in so many operas where I captured the heart of my beloved. But I never dreamed that it would feel this wonderful when it actually happened. A life singing for you in a peaceful world. I imagine that life will be more wonderful than I ever could have hoped. I love you. I could never sing anything as pure as those 3 little words. Edelgard became emperor and raised an army, huh? Who knew the kid had it in her? I mean, yeah, of course, I knew she'd be emperor eventually, but... the more I think about it, the more surprised I am. I wonder who's gonna win. You're really worried about Edelgard, aren't you, Professor? Hey, Professor! Thanks for your hard work again! Nothing to report today! Was I convincing? Was it like he was standing right in front of you? Some things are the same as they were 5 years ago, but I guess a lot more has changed. We're going to invade the Empire, which means we'll be fighting people we know, won't we? If we're attacked by someone we know or used to think of as a friend, is it permitted to run away? Really? If something happens, will you keep me safe? I heard that a staggering number of people lost their lives in the battle at Gronder. And here we are, preparing for the next battle as if nothing happened the day before. It's almost easier to think about war as theater, with the stage an entire continent. Something like that. If an accident happens on stage, the next day's performance must be unaffected. Everyone just pretends like everything is fine, focusing on their role in the play. The whole of the capital is going to be a battleground. The city has such a long heritage. Even so, perhaps it deserves to be reduced to ashes for once. But we can't let the common folk get hurt. We should try to confine the damage to the noble section of town. So, the moment we defeat 80, the nobles cozy up to the Alliance and Church. That lot really does think only of themselves and no one else. But then there's Count Burgles. He used to be Minister of Military Affairs. He sacrificed his own life so that all the soldiers and officers who fought could be given quarter. When I heard that, I don't know, that simple act of humanity, I couldn't help it. I burst into tears. You know Count Burgles is Caspar's father, right? I can't even imagine how Caspar must feel about it. Finally, an end to the fighting. Have you ever felt happier? I've worried that I might not live to see this day, but here we are, and everything is going to be okay, isn't it? My heart feels like it's ready to burst. I'm so full of happiness, yet I feel a sense of loss, too. Yes, we certainly did. But we managed to keep a great many things safe as well. Please do what you can to keep the peace, so we never have to face such awful times again.